Wow. Man, it's me again. And I'm here to remind everybody that we don't have to settle for all the drama. Who's we? The subjugated and suppressed Asiatic people that are subliminally and literally degraded, minimized and humiliated, wrongly manipulated, controlled and subdued with a sinister and nefarious intent to lower and crush the esteem of the copper-colored races of America, the Asiatic, the American native, the nationals, the autochthonous, the para-autochthonous, the aboriginals, the indigenous, the so-called Negro, the so-called black, you, the Moors. And my frustration is just at an all-time high. I simply can't take it anymore. They are destroying us. It seems like scores and scores and scores over and over and over again. We're having these untimely deaths. What do you mean untimely? I'm Truth Walker. I'm your host. And I want to make something very clear. Some things are going on and I'm just tired. And you should be, and I know you are too. Well, things like what? Well, what about Michael Brown? Unarmed, authorities, dead. What about Manuel Logan Jr., Ronald Madison, and then the sister Kendra James? How about Alton Sterling down there in Louisiana, handcuffed, and shot dead? Oh my goodness, Eric Garner was choked out with everybody watching, screaming, "I can't breathe." Killed. And nothing happens. Nothing happens. Nobody is punished for it. The policy enforcers seem to do whatever they want. And it's repeated. What about Philando Castile? While in the car with his girl and a child. And this is in Falcons Heights, St. Paul, Minnesota. Well, what do all of these unfortunate people have in common? They look like you and me. A melanated breed. A copper-colored race. Man, the list goes on. We can go to Akil Dinkins in North Carolina. Remember Greg Gunn? Unarmed, knocking on his neighbor's door, pleading for help, or the window, saying, "Help me." And a report comes out that says that he looked suspicious and he was doing suspicious things. And that's why we shot him dead. I'm tired. They're killing us off. And I'm tired, and something's got to change. I'm thinking about Brandon Glenn. You know the story, 29 years old or so, Venice Beach. Now, real quick, police report said the officer, this is Cliff Proctor, he saw Glenn's hands on his partner's holster, reaching for his holster. So he shot him. Here's your problem, though. Cliff, there's another camera, security camera, video camera on a bar right there close by that showed the whole incident. And clearly his right hand and no other hand was anywhere near his partner's holster. But he dies and nobody is punished. Walter Scott from Charleston, South Carolina. Stopped on a routine traffic stop, gets out the car, starts running, bam, he gets shot 8 times in the back. Then they're planting weapons on folks. Oh, and how about Natasha McKenna? And they say, oh, she was mentally ill. So what? She's a living, breathing, sentient being. But that's cause enough. But this baby, young lady, hands cuffed, legs shackled. Let me say that again. Hands cuffed, legs shackled. Stun gun 4 times and dies. Well, what's going on? What's going on? What made me dial up and say, look, today on this show, I've just had enough. What's the latest incident that happened? I'll tell you what's the latest incident. This young boy, Stephen Clark. I'm looking at this and getting all the information I can get that I have access to at this time. And bottom line, he's in his grandmother's backyard. Somebody called 911, said that somebody was breaking out windows or had his vehicle windows broken out in the car, but he's in his backyard moving. He did jump a fence, so what? He's in the backyard. Policy enforcers tell him to stop. He turns around. Now listen to this. Both arms out, according to the police account. He had a cell phone in his hand. They thought it was a gun, and they shot 20 times. Great day in the morning. What is going on? We falling like flies. And you know what? I'm tired. I'm frustrated. We got to do something different. Somebody said, look, if you, insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. What's really changed for us? Dr. Claude Anderson will tell you from an economic perspective for sure what we own and what we have. These are the melanated people, the copper colored people. Hasn't changed one iota for hundreds of years. Well, what's going on? Well, I'm stumbling around and something's got to give. And I'm looking at the Dred Scott case. You know, they teach it to us in school, and they resolved that Dred Scott, this man that claimed he was free because he moved into was in a free territory. It's a long story, but let me just give you the summation of the Supreme Court. Here it is. A black man has no rights, which a, quote, white man is bound to respect. So blacks are not a part of the body of politics. Something is wrong. I mean, deathly wrong. So I'm looking and everybody's got us. They say, well, let's march about this and, you know, Black Lives Matter. No, they don't. I'm tired of playing this game. Black lives don't matter. You clearly see that. So why do we keep saying it? We got to do something different. We need a new direction, and it has to be something of supreme action by the masses. Got to do it. And I'm convinced that this thing is a game of words. And I was looking at the article, and they were talking about, and this is with the Stephen Clark, they were talking about, you know, the NAACP and how they're getting involved, and that's the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. And I know words matter. So what did I do? Man, I looked up a word in a law book, a law dictionary. The word was color. And it said an appearance, color, an appearance, a semblance or simulacrum, an unsatisfactory image or substitute as disguised from that which is real. As disguised from that which is real. Hence a deceptive appearance, a plausible assumed exterior, concealing a lack of reality. For the advancement of colored people, in law it's telling me I'm nothing. It says in such phrases as colored person, the colored race, the colored man, and the like, is a designate of Negroes or person of African race. Okay? Black person. And then it goes on to say, it has also been held that there is no legal technical signification to the phrase colored person, which the courts are bound to judicially know. Oh my goodness. Right in your face. Wow. The courts don't even have to recognize us when we claim the status of black, of colored. Black lives don't matter. The law says they don't matter. Negro lives don't matter. Color lives don't matter. Minority doesn't matter. I'm just in this law book. Minority, the state or condition of a minor or infancy. Minority, an infant person who is under the age of legal competence. Minority, also less or of less consideration, a lower person, a person of inferior condition. I'm just saying, when you take on those statuses in law, your life doesn't matter. Snap, crackle, pop. Come on. They killing us left and right. We got to do something different. We got to do something aggressive. And we have to do something lawful. All in one failed swoop. Let me give it to you this way. There's a powerhouse radio family. And one of the phrases that they use, it's information is power. Man, I grew up on that. And come to realize as I grow up and be who I am and my own proper person, information is not power. Information is dangerous. Information used correctly, applied with strategy, quality strategy. That's power. We cannot continue to do the same thing. Okay, everybody get out. Let's march. Let's go. Let's scream that our rights are being violated, that our civil rights that we asked for, and if anybody has to give you, government has to give you rights, then something ain't. Don't you get it? You're born with your unalienable, unalienable rights. You are a being, a living, sentient being. And they killing us. The policy enforcers have a right to do whatever as long as you hold on to the statuses. That's the trick. We all have to come together. We all have to come together and realize who we really are. Stop grabbing onto the trick bag of these statuses and rise up and be the organic, the autochthonous, the original man, the indigenous person to this territory. Make your claim and make your stand. And we got to do that together. Now that's the fix. And I'm going to tell you how we do that. And my good brother, we need to come together. And I've been cautioned, don't give it to them over the air. Don't do that. We got to have a meeting. We got to. COINTELPRO, they're everywhere. They don't want you to know who you really are. You were already here. Columbus told you that. What do you mean, Truther? You were already here. You didn't come over here on no slave ship. That's a lie. The vast majority of us are already here. Everything that's going on is about birthright theft. To remove you from who you really are. 1828 Noah Webster Dictionary, American, noun, a native of America, originally applied to the aboriginals or the copper-colored races. Found here by who? The Europeans, but now applied to the descendants of Europe born in America. According to the renowned American historian and linguist Leo Weiner of Harvard University, one of the strongest, right? You know who Harvard is. On the discovery of America, Leo Weiner does some incredible history. He explains that Columbus noted in his journal that the native, that's your ancestors, that would be you. The natives, the Americans, were confirmed black-skinned people, or dark-skinned people. They had come from the southern or southeast in boats, trading in gold-tipped spears. We were already here. We got to come together and be who we want to be. You want to fight? Are you ready to fight? Do you have courage to fight? Do you have courage to fight? Let me tell you what courage is. It's mental or mortal strength to venture, to persevere without danger, fear, or difficulty. And out of all the virtues, in my book, courage is one of the most important. Why? Because courage is the most important of the virtues. Because without courage, you can't practice any other virtue consistently. You can't be consistently kind without courage. You can't be consistently fair without courage. You can't be consistently just without courage. You can't be consistently lovingly without courage. You can't be consistently standing up for what you know to be so or what you believe without courage. You can't consistently be supportive without courage. You can't consistently have somebody's back without courage. You can't even be consistently consistent without courage. Now here's what I say. They killing our babies. They killing our family members. They killing your bloodline. We gotta do something different. Walking and marching when the law books are telling you that your life under that status of black does not matter. It tells you that if you go by color, that you're not real, that the law doesn't have to recognize you. And they captured the same thing with Negro, African American. We gotta read, we don't read. They put this thing right in your face and we keep pushing up the same way, expecting something to change. You tired of being broke? You tired of fighting unfairly? How about taking the attitude that you wake up and say, wait a minute, the land that's here is ours. But when I identify myself as these other things with the trickery of this equivocal English language, that I remove myself from the human family and allow my birthright to be stolen. Don't you get it? You got an option. Pick up the phone and dial a new number. You can do it, family. Step back and look. Let's read. Read, to decipher, to decode, to examine, to inspect, to analyze, to study. Let's get into these words that they're using to whore us. And let's come at them ablazing with the truth and the energy of righteousness. I'm Truth Walker. Peace.